Hi and welcome to Yoga Berry, your yoga for scoliosis community. So today I've got a short practice for you which is specifically for right lumbar, left thoracic curves, and it's a curvature which is not as common as right thoracic, left lumbar. But I have been asked about this practice for a while, and this is a shorter part of a much longer practice which is available in my new membership. So feel free to check it out in the description below. You will not need any props for the practice today. Good. We're going to come into all fours from here. So hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees hip distance apart. And let's go into cat-cow pose from here. So inhaling, lifting the chest forwards, and exhale to round through the spine. Let's wake up the spine a little bit more. Inhale, lifting the chest, and exhale to round. Good. Keep going, just moving at your own pace. Inhale to lift the chest, and exhale to round. Good. So when you do your cat-cow pose, see if you can round into the right shoulder a little bit more. So when you lift the chest, you're drawing the left shoulder blade down a little bit more. And then when you go into the rounding position, you round into the right side, as if you want to just create that bit more space on the back of the right side a little bit more. So drawing the left shoulder blade back and down on the inhale, and on the exhale, rounding into the right side a little bit more. Good. And then come back to center. Tuck the toes under. We'll take it into extended puppy pose. So let's start to reach the arms forwards. See if you can bring the left hip back a little bit more. So we're lengthening through the left side of the waist. Good. So we haven't adjusted the arms at the moment. We're just focusing on the waist. So the hips are slightly shifted over towards the right. Good. And then release. So just come into your regular child's pose. So bring the arms alongside the body, allowing for the shoulders to roll forwards. Good. And then slowly bringing yourself up. Good. So we're going to try that extended puppy pose again. This time we're also going to adjust for the thoracic curve. So tuck your toes under, bring your hips halfway between the knees and the heels, and then reaching the arms forwards. So let's adjust the thoracic curve now. We're going to start to reach through the right fingertips a little bit more. So my right hand starts to slide forwards. I'm just keeping the hips level for now. So I'm just addressing the thoracic curve. Good. And then release. Good. Let's put those two together. So if you need a little bit of a break, then come either into child's pose or just come up into all fours. This is quite a challenging pose. And then we're going to put those two parts together. So we're starting with the hips somewhere halfway between the knees and the heels. Reach the arms forwards. So now we want to lengthen through the left side of the waist. So start to shift the hips over towards the right a little bit to lengthen the left side. And then we're also reaching through the right fingertips forwards. So left side of the waist, right side of the thoracic. Good. Lovely. And then slowly release, and let's rest in child's pose. So take the hips all the way back. Take the arms alongside the body. Good. And then slowly bringing yourself up. Good. So this is quite hard work. if you really focus and if you really try to target those specific areas of your spine that might need, enjoy a little bit more space. Good, so let's come into side plank pose now. And we're going to start on our right side, because the right side is the side that we want to strengthen more than the left side. So this is our convex side. So we want the muscles to contract a little bit more on that side. So we'll do a beginner's version. We're going to come down onto the forearm, bring the elbow directly underneath the shoulder, and then the heels, the hips, and the elbow are in one line. Good, so from there, let's simply bring the top hand onto the waist. And just going to adjust my top so you can see what we're going to do. What we're doing here is we're strengthening the underside of the body. So this is the part that is being strengthened. So just allow for your waist to kind of drop towards the floor and then start to lift it away from the floor. You might feel how the muscles in the waist are starting to engage. That's exactly what we want. So let's do that again. So we're just going to drop kind of the waist down, let it collapse into the floor, and then lift away. So find those muscles that are engaging and keep lifting away from the floor. And we'll just bring the hand onto the waist. So this might be enough for you today, especially if you have any shoulder issues. But if you do want to take it further, let's press the forearm into the ground and lift the hips. So this is much harder, and we need to breathe to be able to hold this position. And yes, your right shoulder might start to complain a little bit. Maybe let's bring the left arm up towards the ceiling. Good, so that creates a little bit more of a lift, and hopefully you can feel those muscles on the right side of the waist. Good, one more long breath. And then let's slowly release. Good, so let's do this over on the other side. So I did say we are strengthening the right side more than the left, but we also need the muscles on the left side to work to support the spine. We're just going to do the right side twice. Good, so your left forearm is down. Just check your alignment, heel, hips, and the elbow in line. Bring the right hand onto the waist. Take a breath to prepare. And then first of all, find those muscles again before we start to lift off. So let the waist collapse into the ground and then lift it away from the floor. This side might feel completely different. So let it collapse and then lift away from the floor until you have found those muscles. These are the right muscles to engage. And then we can take it into that second part. So lift the hips off the ground. Good. So this is your second time round now. So we know what the movement is, but see if you can also find a good position for the head. So make sure it's not coming forward, the chin starts to stick out, but keeping the chin in towards you. Let's lift the top arm. Good. Can we take one more long breath? Lovely. And then let's slowly release. Good, let's come back to the first side. Remember, that's the side we want to strengthen in particular. Good. So elbow underneath the shoulder, heels, hips, and the elbow in one line. Good, so we know already what we're doing, so we don't need to kind of practice the movement. We just bring the top hand onto the waist and then lift the hips off the ground. Straight into it. Lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Good, and breathe. Lovely. Taking one more long breath. Good, and then let's release. Good, just come into sitting for a moment and let's release the shoulders. Taking a few shoulder rolls here. Good. We're going to use our bolster for the next couple of stretches. So we're going to do our sideline release pose. So we're going to take the bolster lengthways across the mat, and then I have my second blanket to support the head. Good, so we're going to start lying on the right side first. So see if you can bring your bolster really in towards you, so that is supporting the right side of the waist. We want to lie on the convex side of the right lumbar curve. Good, so make sure that your shoulder is on your arm, or definitely not on the bolster. And then we use the blanket to support the head. So you might have to fold it a couple of times. The purpose of the pose is to release that left side of the waist. Good. So with the top arm, we're just going to bring the top arm to a comfortable position. So I'm just trying out different things. I don't want to take the arm up over the head because of the left thoracic curve. This side doesn't need more opening. So I'm just going to place the hand kind of down beside me. So just so I can relax into the pose. Good. So see if you can consciously breathe into the left side of the waist. Lovely. Let's stay for another few breaths. This is the side that will really enjoy that opening. Good, and then slowly bringing yourself up, and let's do the other side. So I'm going to turn around, move my bolster over. So on this side, we're going to have the bolster a little bit more into the thoracic spine rather than the lumbar curve. So it's a little bit higher up. It won't make that much of a difference in terms of position unless you have a really long torso. But this bolster is quite a big one. So it's slightly higher up, so that it's literally just the shoulder will be hanging off here over the top, and then I'm supporting the head again with the pillow. Now on this side we are targeting the thoracic curve, so let's bring the right arm up over the head to open that right side of the lungs. See if you can really imagine breathing into the right side of the rib cage. Good, and then slowly release. Good, bring yourself up into sitting. Good, so we're going to do one more restorative yoga pose, and you have two choices here. You can use your bolster if you've been using a bolster, or you can roll up a blanket. So I show you what it looks like, and then you can decide how you want to set it up, because it kind of depends on your individual body and what it feels like for you. Good, so this is a back bend, as I said. So we're going to lie over the bolster and have the bolster kind of along the bottom part of the shoulder blades, and then we need to adjust the head. So if I just have a look at the position of my head, this is not very comfortable for me at the moment, so I need a higher support. So I'm going to fold my blanket and then support the head here. So the purpose is to open the chest. This is quite a strong pose. So if the bolster is too much, just roll up a blanket and use the blanket instead. Good, so see if you can really feel that stretch across the chest. So yes, there will be sensations, but we don't want any sharp, definitely no pain in the lower back. So you can either keep the knees bent, or you can extend your legs. Just see what feels more comfortable. For me, it feels more comfortable to keep the knees bent. And just allow for those muscles across the chest, across the collarbones, just to open, to spread a little bit more. Lovely. And then to come out of the pose, we're going to roll over to the side. Take your time and then slowly bringing yourself up into sitting. Push your props out of the way for a moment. Going to come to lying down on the back, so still have them close by as we'll need them for Shavasana. And let's lie on the back, have the knees in towards the chest, just rocking from side to side. Good, and then releasing the legs. Good, so we're going to come into a dynamic twist. Interlace the hands, bring the hands behind the head, bring the knees in towards you. And we're going to keep squeezing the legs together. Keep the knees in towards the chest and just move them halfway over to the left. So not all the way down to the ground. Slowly coming back to center. Keep the knees in towards you and then exhale over to the right. We're keeping both shoulders firmly on the ground. Let's do that again. So move the legs over to the left. Coming back to center. And then move the legs over to the right. Good. So let's do one more round. Over to the left. Coming back to center. Over to the right. Coming back to center. Good. And then releasing the feet and let's release the arms. Let's cross the right ankle over the left thigh. I'm going to do reverse pigeon pose, which is a hip stretch. So let's bring the left leg in towards you and your right hand will come through the right leg, taking hold of the back of the left thigh. So draw that leg in towards you. Good, so you might feel that stretch across the outside of the right hip, the glutes. Lovely. Taking one more long breath. And then let's slowly release. Unravel the legs. Bring the right foot flat on the ground. Left ankle crossing over the right thigh. And again, we're taking hold of the back of the right leg. So the left hand will go through that left leg. Reach for the back of the thigh. Good. Just drawing the leg in towards you. We're just taking a few breaths here. And see if you can still keep lengthening through the crown of the head and the tailbone. Lovely. And then let's slowly release. So if you have a little bit more time and you want to continue your practice, maybe want a little bit more of a flow practice, then feel free to check out this video where I show you how to adjust your sun salutations when you have scoliosis. So I hope that you enjoyed this video today and feel free to let me know in the comments, and I'll see you very soon in the next video.